Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the League One Transfer Rumour Roundup. There is always a lot to discuss when it comes to these videos, and there's some big deals and rumours that have gone through in League One since the previous episode. So we will not waste any more time, people, and we will dive straight in to the completed deals that have gone through in League One since the previous episode. Released Fleetwood Town midfielder Callum Camps has completed a move to League Two side Stockport County. My club Charlton Athletic have completed the signing of Fulham fullback Stephen Sessegnon on a season-long loan. If you guys would like to find out more about that signing, then check out my Addicts Edition series. Blackpool centre-half Oliver Casey has completed a loan move to Forest Green Rovers for the season. In quite a shock turn of events in my eyes, Carlton Morris has left Barnsley and has signed for Luton Town. I actually thought that Morris was going to be kept by Barnsley, but he's made the move to the Championship alongside Colby Woodrow. Of course, Woodrow joined Luton, I think, late last month, and yeah, Morris has jumped ship as well. So Barnsley looking very light in their attacking areas. Following the takeover at Derby County that went through a couple of weeks ago, they have really turned on the heat in the transfer window, and they have signed a ridiculous amount of players. I'll go through all of them now. Sheffield United striker David McGoldrick joining in on a free transfer. Aston Villa's Conor Hourihane, which is an absolutely stupid signing for League One level. I do not believe that they've managed to pull that one off. And then they've also managed to bring in James Chester on a free transfer as well. And along with Curtis Davis signing a new contract, they boosted their defensive lines with the signing of Hayden Morris on loan from Brighton and Hove Albion. Experienced goalkeeper Scott Loach joined the club as well from Chesterfield on boosting their goalkeeper options. Of course, they signed Joe Wildsmith recently from Sheffield Wednesday, so they needed a bit more cover, and they've got that now with Loach. And they've also signed James Collins from Cardiff. We obviously remember him from his time at Luton Town when he was in League One when Luton won the league. Very good striker at League One level from what I remember, just didn't really work out for him in the Championship. And Derby also completed the signing of Kwaku Odura from Manchester City following his release from the club. I believe he spent last season with Bradford, where apparently he had a really impressive spell there. But yeah, Derby have really turned up the heat in the transfer window so far. Understandably, obviously, with their takeover being complete, they did need to get their act together and bring in some players. And by God, have they signed some pretty impressive names on paper. Of course, we do need to see if Liam Rosenior can get that team to gel, because obviously they're signing a whole new team. MK Dons midfielder David Kasumu has made the move to the Championship, signing for Huddersfield Town. While former Portsmouth left-back Brandon Hornstrup has signed for Mark Bonner's Cambridge United on a free transfer following his release from Scottish Premiership side Kilmarnock. Kin Famuwo has made his return to League One, this time on a permanent basis, but not with my side Charlton Athletic. He has made the move to Darren Moore's Sheffield Wednesday for an undisclosed fee. Of course, Charlton did have the option to make Famuwo's loan from last season a permanent deal, but we've decided not to exercise that option, which I'm not massively disappointed with, to be honest with you, because I did think Famuwo had quite a shaky year last year, but under the right system, he could do a job for Wednesday. I do think there are strengths to his game. Obviously, he's still quite young at 23. Lincoln City have completed the signing of Shamrock Rovers attacking midfielder Danny Mandrew. I do apologise if I pronounced that name incorrectly, but the Irish attacking midfielder, 23 years of age, has had a pretty impressive stint in the Irish Premiership, so we will wait and see how well he can do in the English third division. And Reece James has made his return to League One, signing for Sheffield Wednesday on loan from Blackpool. We spoke about this one quite a while ago, but Jake Taylor's move from Port Vale to Morecambe has now been confirmed. I'm actually quite surprised by this, because obviously Taylor has just got promoted with Port Vale to League One from League Two, but didn't play an awful lot of games, and as a matter of fact hasn't played an awful lot of minutes over the last couple of years at Port Vale. But yeah, Morecambe have decided to take a gamble on him, another option in their midfield area, coming in as a bit of an unproven talent. And in quite a shock turn of events, Carl Rushworth has made the move to League One finally, but has not signed for any of the clubs that he was linked with that we spoke about in these videos. He has signed for Lincoln City, which is quite an interesting one, but I think makes a load of sense. You know, he really impressed at his time with Walsall, and obviously Lincoln were looking for a goalkeeper replacement after Josh Griffiths went back to West Brom. Cheltenham Town have signed Torquay United goalkeeper Sean McDonald on a free transfer, while Ipswich Town's Ilkan Bagot has signed for Gillingham in a season-long loan. Derby County's Tom Lawrence has confirmed his exit from the club, and he has signed for Giovanni van Bronckhorst's Rangers. Now, there was a part of me that did think Lawrence would stick it out in League One, but no, he has decided to make the move up north. Chelsea's Jamie Cumming has re-signed for MK Dons on a season-long loan this time. Cumming, of course, spent the first half of last season on loan at Gillingham, but was then recalled by Chelsea and sent to MK Dons in the second half of the season to help them in their promotion push. Fleetwood Town's defender Brad Halliday has signed for Bradford City in League Two on a free transfer. Burton Albion have added to their goalkeeper ranks, signing Viljami Sinisalo from Aston Villa. I've definitely butchered that name, but the goalkeeper has signed for Burton on a season-long loan. Portsmouth have completed the signing of Preston fullback Joe Rafferty on a free transfer. I do like this one a lot, coming over from the Championship. Offers a bit more cover in the left-back position alongside Conor Ogilvie. And Nicky Cadden has confirmed his Forest Green exit. However, he has not made the move to the Championship. He has completed a move to Michael Duff's Barnsley, which I think is a really positive signing by Barnsley. That is a very good pickup. Definitely their signing of the season so far, in my opinion. Obviously, Cadden has really impressed at Forest Green over the last few years. I did think it was unlikely that Forest Green would keep him, but yeah, that's another big blow for Forest Green, but a good signing for Barnsley for sure. And after impressing in League Two on loan with Newport County, Finn Azaz has made the move to League One, signing for Plymouth Argyle on loan from Aston Villa. I do like this one a lot, adding a bit more cover in the central midfield position with Panuche Kamara's situation still very much up in the air. Peterborough goalkeeper Christy Prim has signed for Mansfield Town on a season-long loan. Morecambe have completed the signing of Salford City winger Ashley Hunter on a free transfer. Of course, we all know Hunter from his time at Fleetwood Town, spent a fair few seasons there, so has a lot of League One experience. And Louis Barry is being given a second crack at League One level, this time signing for MK Dons in a season-long loan from Aston Villa. Of course, he spent the first half of last season with Ipswich Town, where he really struggled for minutes. Went to Swindon in the second half of last season under, of course, Charlton's manager Ben Garner, where he did have a fairly decent loan spell. That time scored a couple goals from what I remember. And MK Dons have also completed the signing of Dawson Devoy from Bohemians for an undisclosed fee. Bolton Wanderers' Roman Darcy has made a permanent move away from the club, signing for Swindon Town for an undisclosed fee. While Accrington Stanley continue to use the Premier League loan market with the signing of Everton defender Ryan Astley on a season-long loan. Cheltenham Town have re-signed Taylor Perry on loan from Wolves, this time for a season-long loan. Of course, Perry did spend last season on loan with Cheltenham, but unfortunately had to cut that loan short due to a serious hip injury. Barney Mumba has made his return to League One, signing for Plymouth Argyle on loan from Norwich for the season. Of course, remember Mumba from his time at Sunderland, and of course he earned that move to Norwich, where he struggled for game time at the Canaries, really. Went to Peterborough on loan last season, and obviously they went through quite a disappointing season, getting relegated. So Mumba has made the step back down to League One, hasn't been there since his time at Sunderland. And MK Dons have re-signed Will Grigg, this time on a permanent transfer following his release from Sunderland. Another attacker adding to their ranks. Of course, remember Grigg from his time at Sunderland, signing for £4 million, where he really did not live up to the price tag that they paid. He obviously spent, I think, the second half of last season at MK Dons. I don't know, but I know he was on loan there. And I think the previous spell he had at MK Dons before then was really impressive. And obviously MK Dons did need more attacking firepower, with obviously Twine going and obviously Parrott going back. And they've now got that with Aissa obviously still at the club, and Dennis, and obviously Barry, who we just spoke about. And now they've got Will Grigg as well. And we spoke about Josh Griffiths very briefly at the start of this video, but his deal to Portsmouth has now been officially confirmed, of course, coming in to replace Gavin Bazunu. Burton Albion have completed the season-long loan signing of West Brom youngster Quevin Castro, while Barnsley midfielder Jordan Green has made a move to Gillingham following his release from the Tykes on a free transfer. So there are all of the completed deals that have gone through in League One since the previous episode. Now, without any further hesitation, people, let's dive straight into some transfer rumours. And we will begin with my side, Charlton Athletic, and probably the biggest news to come out of Charlton so far this week, in fact, is that we are apparently looking to listen to offers for midfielder Jake Forster-Caskey. Now, I have had a few people on social media asking me, what do you think about this? What's your honest thoughts? I would be lying if I said it wouldn't be a shame if Jake left the club, because it would be a massive shame. Jake has obviously been at the club for a very long time, signing in 2017 from Brighton. He's really struggled with injuries in SE7 for sure. In our promotion season in 2018-19, he missed the whole season with an ACL injury to his right knee, I do believe. And then in 2020-21, the season after we got relegated, he had a really good season. He won Player of the Year, and then picked up another ACL injury, this time to the other knee. And he missed the majority of last season. I think he only played twice in League One. I think did he start one game? I don't know. I think they might have been both off the bench. But the bottom line is, Jake has struggled for minutes throughout a lot of his Charlton career, really, and he's lost 2 years of his career through injury. Now, reports obviously from Richard Cooley did say that there is interest in Forster-Caskey. It wasn't said which clubs were interested. I know a lot of people are not particularly impressed with this. People saying, oh, why are we selling him over a couple of players XXX, Gilby and Morgan and players like that. And I do agree with that. And there are also people saying, oh, why did we give him a new contract if we're going to sell him? The truth is, people, different managers like different players. And if Garner doesn't like Forster-Caskey, then that's that, you know, that's his decision. And it is a shame if Jake is to be moved on, but then again, he's really been unlucky with injuries. He's a fantastic player. Sad thing is we haven't seen it that regularly. And the reality is, people, if Jake isn't going to get regular minutes at Charlton, why would he stay? The truth is he's going to want to move on and he's going to want to get some regular minutes. And I suspect that there will be a couple League One teams at least that would be looking around him and would be thinking, yeah, he'd be a good option in the middle of the park. And I do believe that. Obviously, he's 28 years old. He's very experienced. He's been with us for 6 years now. And yeah, like I said, it would be a real shame. And obviously, I would like to see him stay over a couple other players that I think would be more sellable assets. But realistically, if Jake isn't going to get minutes, then the truth is, why would he stay? In terms of transfer rumours that have gone down in SE7, I'll be honest, there haven't been many, with Thomas Sandgaard's claim that there won't be many signings before the opening day of the season. But there has been a fresh link recently to Dundee United captain Ronnie Edwards. Now, I must admit, I don't know an awful lot about him. I don't really watch the Scottish football, well, ever. I don't watch Scottish football whatsoever. But Edwards is 28 years old. He's a centre-back, Dundee's captain, and he is ex-Blackpool and Plymouth. And from my research, he seems to be a pretty decent goal-scoring centre-half. So he looks pretty good in the attacking box and decent in both boxes. Seems a bit of an aerial threat. Now, my worry with this is, to be honest with you, I think we're fine in the centre-back position. Obviously, we've recently signed Owen O'Connell. We've obviously got Sam Lavelle and Ryan Innes already in this position. And we do have, obviously, Deji Olaraway from the academy, who's featured a lot in pre-season. Now, it's whether he's actually going to get minutes in the team this season. He's going to be part of the squad this year. Obviously, in my previous video, the Charlton Academy players, I ranked him as the #1 most likely player to break into the team this season. And I do genuinely believe that. So it begs the question as to whether centre-back is a position that we need to improve. But as things stand, Edwards is just a rumour. It was one that I saw online, so I thought I may as well discuss it, see what I thought about it. Personally, it would be a good, okay addition. It would obviously offer a lot more experience, but if I'm honest with you, I'm more than happy to have OLeary as our 4th choice defender. But as things stands, it's just a rumour. Liam Manning's MK Dons have been linked with a loan move for Crystal Palace's highly rated winger, Jesurun Rak-Sakyi. The 19-year-old has just come off the back of an unbelievable season in their under-23s with 18 goals and 6 assists in 25 matches for the under-23s, and also featured twice in the Premier League. So he seems to be very highly rated at Palace. Well, from the outside looking in anyway, they're looking to maybe change the system with them bringing in a couple wingers. They've obviously signed Nathan Holland and Connor Grant in the transfer window. So whether they're going to go to, I don't know, maybe a 4-3-3 or a back 5 and utilise them as wing-backs, I have no idea. But Rak-Sakyi definitely is in need of some professional minutes, having come off the back of a stupidly good season at under-23 level. And yeah, MK Dons have been linked with a move for him. So let's see where this one develops. I think this would be a really exciting signing. And MK Dons, alongside Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford United, have been linked with a loan move for Birmingham City striker Kemi Simmons. I do apologise if I've pronounced that name incorrectly. But yeah, Simmons, obviously a striker, 21 years of age. Seems to be quite unproven when it comes to the professional game. He played 6 games at under-23 level, scoring 3 goals and getting 1 assist. So definitely he is in need of more development. And yeah, apparently MK Dons, Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford have been linked with a move. Now, MK Dons have recently bolstered their attacking options with obviously Grigg and Barry coming in and adding to Aissa and Dennis at the club. Wednesday, we've spoken about in previous videos multiple times with the amount of strikers that they've been linked with previously, and they've obviously already got Gregory, Patterson, they've recently signed Michael Smith and also Josh Windass. So whether Simmons can play in another position, I know a Sheffield Wednesday fan in the previous video said that when they were linked to Carl Joseph, he could play wing back. So I don't know whether Simmons can occupy that position or he's more versatile than that. He can play in other positions, I have no idea. But I don't really think Wednesday's main priority at the moment is for a striker. So of the 3 clubs, I think Oxford would probably be the best fit for Simmons, but then again, there is doubt whether he'd get regular minutes. Obviously, they have got Matty Taylor. And Oxford have also been linked to a move for Coventry City winger Jody Jones. Now, Jones has recently been training with Carl Robinson's side. However, he has also been training with Reading in the Championship and did feature in their pre-season friendly against Benfica recently before returning to the U's. Now, from what I can understand from reports, Oxford do want to sign Jones. Now, it is pretty safe to say over the last few years, Jones has struggled for minutes, goals and assists at the Sky Blues. I think he did a job at League 2 level, kind of dipped off at League 1 level. Final ball proved to be a problem, and then last season in the Championship played just 9 times. So he is really struggling for game time, and Reading would be an interesting one. Oxford obviously need a couple more wide options. Obviously they lost Nathan Holland, they didn't sign him back. Gavin White obviously has gone back to Cardiff, so they do need more wide options. Could Jones provide that? It's a gamble for sure. I mean, end product seems to be a problem, but he is 24, so he's still fairly young. There has been yet another development in the Malik Wilkes deal, but it does look like this could be the final time we talk about this transfer in terms of Sheffield Wednesday, as this deal could be coming to an end. There has been a lot of disputes over the transfer fee for Wilkes. It has been reported, or from what I can see anyway, Wilkes does want to move to Sheffield Wednesday. He does want to leave Hull and he wants to join Darren Moore at Hillsborough. However, there has been a bit of dispute over the transfer fee. Of course, we spoke about in the previous video how Wednesday offered an initial fee of £200,000, which I said in the previous video was way too low for a player of Wilkes' quality, especially at League One level. Didn't really do it at the Championship level, but at League One level, he is absolutely lethal. And I fully understand Hull City coming out and saying that the fee is just way too low. So it does look like this deal could be collapsing. With the amount of strikers that they've lost in the transfer window so far, it is no surprise that Barnsley are looking to bolster their attacking options. Now, it has been reported in recent days that they currently have American striker Sebastian Soto on trial with the club. Now, Soto is 21 years of age, plays for Norwich City. I believe he does anyway. I'm not entirely sure if he was released. I don't know whether this is going to be a permanent or a loan deal, but apparently Soto is currently on trial / training with Barnsley. Now, Soto spent last season on loan with Livingston in the Scottish Premiership, I do believe, or the Championship, I'm not entirely sure, but he didn't really have the greatest of loan spells over there. He played 12 times for Livingston, failing to score a goal, so it's not the most convincing of numbers going into this deal. However, Soto is 21 years of age and Barnsley are in desperate need of attacking options. I mean, they've lost obviously Schmitz, they've lost George Miller, and obviously the biggest departures, Woodrow and Morris, both going to Luton. Now, their current attacking options, if I'm not mistaken, is Aaron Lara-Seka and Victor Adeboyejo. So they definitely need some more attacking firepower. And another striker that the Tykes have been linked with previously is for Ipswich is James Norwood. Now, we spoke about Norwood in the previous episode of this series, with him apparently being linked with a move to Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers. However, it is looking very likely that Norwood will be joining Oakwell and he will be joining Barnsley this summer. Now, we spoke about him in the previous video. Obviously, he offers an abundance of experience at 31 years of age. Did pretty well considering the lack of game time last season. 23 games, 6 goals and 8 assists the season before that. He played 3 more games, 26, and scored 3 more goals. And speaking of Bristol Rovers in connection to Barnsley, they have recently been in talks over a permanent move for Barnsley winger Luke Thomas. Now, the winger obviously spent last season on loan with Bristol Rovers in League 2, where he played 28 games. He was, I guess you could say, a regular in Bristol Rovers' side. Obviously, it's looking unlikely that they're going to bring back the likes of Connor Taylor and, Elliot Anderson, and they are in need of more options, especially out wide with Sam Nicholson going. So could Thomas do bits at League One level? I think he has previously struggled to make a mark at Barnsley, so I would think for the player's sake he'd want to make a move away from Oakwell. But I've been saying how Derby County have not been mucking about in the transfer window since their takeover going through, and they have been linked with some more names. One name that has been mentioned is for released Burnley midfielder Dale Stephens. Now, this one would be a return to League One. Of course, Stephens hasn't played at League One level, funnily enough, since he played for my club, Charlton Athletic, almost, I think, 10 or 11 years ago now, which is absolutely ridiculous. But Stephens was a shining light in the Charlton team, not just in League One, but in general. He was absolutely outstanding. If you remember correctly from a video I'd done a couple of years ago now, I did my best Charlton 11 of the decade, and Stephens was firmly in the centre of that midfield. He was absolutely unbelievable. He had a right foot of an absolute demon. He scored long shot after worldie. He was just absolutely incredible. He, of course, made the move to Brighton after that. He was sold on by, obviously, the Roland regime. He enjoyed a pretty decent spell there at a Championship and Premier League level. Then he made the move to Burnley, where it's safe to say it didn't work out over there. He featured just 10 times at Premiership level in the 2 years he was there. I think he struggled with injury, or there was, I don't know what it was. I remember, I think from what I heard from Burnley fans, he was injured quite a lot, and I think there may have been an attitude problem. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, following his release from Burnley and Burnley's relegation, he has been linked with a move to Derby County at League One level. Now, people would obviously sit there and think on paper it would be a very good signing, and I would agree with that. However, his lack of minutes over the last couple of years is a concern, because obviously he offers a lot of experience. I mean, he's got out of this league before with Charlton obviously winning the league. However, that was donkeys ago now. That was absolutely years ago. So it's going to be interesting to see if this one is actually true. But Derby are looking to bolster their midfield options. Obviously, they have already got the likes of Christian Bielik. They've got Max Bird. They've got Jason Knight. They've got Louis Sibley. They've obviously signed Conor Hourihane recently, which is ridiculous. And obviously, Stephens will add to that as well. But his lack of minutes in the last few years is a concern of mine. Speaking of midfielders that Derby have been linked with, they do look set to complete the signing of Swansea City midfielder Corey Smith. As reported today on the Friday at the time of recording this video, Smith has undergone a medical, so I wouldn't be surprised by the time this video is released, Smith has joined Derby on a permanent transfer. Now, Corey, of course, spent last season with Swansea City, played a majority of their games, played 35 times, getting himself 4 assists. So again, like Dale Stephens would offer a lot of midfield cover and a lot of experience. They seem to have gone with a lot of experienced heads in the transfer window so far, Derby. We've had McGoldrick, we've had Hourihan, we've had Chester, we've had Loach come in, we've had Collins come in as well. Portsmouth's hunt for a striker is certainly hotting up, with them currently, I don't believe, actually having one at the moment going into the opening day of the season. So they are looking to crack down and bring in a few attacking options. Obviously, we've spoken about in previous videos how they have been linked with Swansea trio, Carl Joseph, Morgan Whittaker and Liam Cullen. But the previous 2 names they've been linked with have been really exciting names. The first one looking more likely than the other, and that is for the signing of Ipswich Town's Joe Pigott. Now, it has been reported recently that Portsmouth are set to complete a loan-to-buy signing for the Englishman, with the rumoured buyout being 200 grand, which I think is a pretty good deal for a striker of Joe Pigott's calibre. Now, of course, we know Pigott from his time at Wimbledon. Obviously, he earned the move to Ipswich after his performance in 2020-21, where he come off his best goal-scoring season to date. I think he got himself 20 goals at League One level. So obviously, he made the move to Ipswich at the time under the management of Paul Cook. Last season, he really struggled for minutes. He played only 22 times for the Tractor Boys, scoring just twice. So it was a really underwhelming season, not just for Pigott, but for Ipswich in general, of course. But for a personal level, Pigott had a really disappointing season. So he needs to get himself a move away from Ipswich and try and find his feet again. And I think, to be honest with you, Portsmouth would be a really good fit for him. I think he'd be a really good fit there, provided he got himself some minutes and he can get his confidence back up. Because there's no doubt Pigott is a very good, proven goal scorer at this level. And for a loan-to-buy option, with the option of making it permanent at 200 grand, according to reports, it's a pretty good deal. And another striker that they've been linked with in recent weeks has been for Accrington Stanley striker Colby Bishop. Now, again, this is another exciting name. I do really like Bishop, obviously 25 years of age, and over the last 3 seasons has got himself into double figures for Stanley. Now, of course, those figures aren't massive numbers compared to other strikers. I think the previous 2 seasons before the one we've just had, he bagged himself 10 goals in both seasons. Last season, he bagged himself 12. Obviously, I guess you could say he was the main figurehead for Accrington after Dion Charles' departure. So if Accrington are to lose Bishop, that's a massive blow in their attacking line. But if Pompey can get their hands on Pigott and Bishop, that's 2 very good options up front going into the League One season. So we'll wait and see if the Bishop deal does materialise. It's less likely compared to Pigott. Exeter City looks set to kick off their transfer business with the signing of Bristol City goalkeeper Max O'Leary for a season-long loan. Now, obviously, I believe at the time of recording this video, Exeter are the only club not to sign anyone in the transfer window. So obviously, Matt Taylor is keeping the confidence in the squad that got them promoted last season, finishing 2nd at League 2 level. But yeah, it does look like they're going to kick off their business with the signing of O'Leary. Now, O'Leary has struggled for minutes at Bristol City, playing just 12 games at Championship level over the last 2 years. I believe he played 9 last season, so a couple more games than the previous year, of course, but still a lack of minutes is very much evident. So maybe a move down to League One could do him good, and for a side like Exeter as well. It is looking very likely more than ever that Peterborough's up-and-coming centre-back Ronnie Edwards is set to stay at Posh amid Premiership interest. Now, Edwards, of course, had a very impressive season individually for Peterborough last year. Obviously, Peterborough did get relegated from the Championship straight back down to League One, but Edwards played 38 games in all competitions, and he was attracting a lot of interest from Premiership clubs. I think I'm just trying to think of clubs that were linked to them. I think a fair few Premiership sides and Championship teams were interested. There was a report that I read yesterday in an online article saying that apparently their chairman whacked a £15 million price tag on Edwards, which is absolutely stupid. It is ludicrous, I'm sorry, for a centre-back of Edwards' quality who's basically just burst onto the Peterborough scene. But I guess that's one way to scare clubs off from signing him. But yeah, it does look like Edwards is going to be staying at Peterborough this season, which is obviously big news for them. They obviously want to continue his development. Bournemouth youngster Nathan Mariah Welsh is currently training with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's Burton Albion ahead of a loan move to the Pirelli Stadium. He is a midfielder, 20 years of age, and he is an international for Guyana. In 2022 so far, he has played 6 games for the international side, scoring 1 goal. So he seems to be a pretty decent talent coming coming in from Bournemouth, obviously unproven. He would offer more midfield cover. Obviously, they did recently complete the signing of West Brom's Kevin Castro. So they seem to be going down the youth route when it comes to midfield. And obviously, they do need some more midfield cover with the potential departure of Joe Powell. We still don't know the situation surrounding that. Powell, of course, has not agreed a new contract yet. Hasselbank obviously offered him a deal recently, said it was a very good offer, but we'll just have to wait and see if Powell will sign that. But yeah, Mariah Welsh is currently training with the club, and we'll wait and see if this one does go through. I would expect this one to be likely to go through. Ipswich Town have received a few boosts in their bid to sign Bersant Selina on a permanent deal from Dijon. Of course, the Kosovan attacking midfielder spent the season-long loan last year at Portman Road, where he got himself 6 goals and 6 assists at League One level. Now, there have been a couple Championship clubs that have been linked with Selina. Preston North End and Stoke City were the 2 clubs that were linked with Selina. Port Preston come out recently and said that they've called off their interest, Ryan Lowe calling off their interest for the player, and Stoke's interest today seems to have collapsed. So Ipswich are in pole position to sign him. When I say that, they haven't actually put in a bid. A club that has put in a formal bid for the attacking midfielder is Turkish Premiership side Kasimpasa. So we'll have to wait and see where this one will end up. But from what I understand, Ipswich are keen to sign him back. And then to wrap up this video, we are talking about another Bournemouth youngster, as it does look likely that centre-half/fullback Zeno Ibson Rossi looks set to join Mark Bonner's Cambridge United on a permanent transfer. It has been reported today that the centre-back is set to sign for the club following a medical that he will have today. Now, he is 20 years old, played 3 times in the Championship last season for Bournemouth, which obviously they were promoted to the Premiership, so struggled for minutes there, and he also spent a loan spell with Dundee in the Scottish Premiership, but he only played 4 times, so he has been struggling for minutes. So it's certainly a gamble for Cambridge to bring him in on a permanent transfer, but he does seem quite versatile. He can play either centre-half, or I think he also can occupy the full-back position quite well. So we'll wait and see with this one, but this one does look like a done deal with him set to have a medical today. So that is it for this episode of the League One Transfer Rumour Roundup, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, can you possibly leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and turn on those post notifications so you are notified of every time I upload a new video. What do you guys think about the completed deals and the rumours that I've discussed in this video? Let me know in the comments below. Have I missed any rumours out? Do let me know in the comments. This has been Tyler Ronaldson. Have a nice day, and I will see you all in the next video. Take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you all then.